Well, a group of hackers claiming to be part of the group Anonymous delivered an unwanted Christmas surprise to a US security think tank. The so-called hacktivists broke through the security of the Stratfor group, exposing the credit card details and personal information of thousands of people who subscribe to the company's newsletter. A number of high-profile Australian individuals and corporates are potential victims. Sarah Everingham reports.
Greetings, global pirates. We truly hope that you've been enjoying the Xmas festivities so far.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all on planet Earth.
It started on Christmas Day, with warnings of more to come.
As you may know by now, an unauthorized party illegally obtained and disclosed personal information and related credit card data of some of our members.
These groups are a bit of an enigma in some sense. They're almost a throwback to earlier hackers. But really what they are criminals who find some bizarre satisfaction into exposing other people's personal financial credentials and also the flaws in corporate and government systems.
Hackers claiming to be associated with the loose-knit activist coalition Anonymous have claimed responsibility for cracking the security of the American think tank Stratfor. The scale of the attack is still unclear, but there are reports that thousands of the company's clients have been hit, with their credit card or personal details published on the internet.
It's big in impact simply because Stratfor was an organisation that was meant to be about security. They are advising people about their security and they failed to follow their own advice.
Some hackers have described it as a Robin Hood-style attack, with the claim they've used the credit card details to make up to $1 million in donations to well-known charities, including the Red Cross and Save the Children. And they say that's only the beginning.
As we speak, his little helpers at the North Pole are readying his battle sleigh of lulls with more goodies to bring you Xmas joy all week long. Joy in the form of over $500,000 being expropriated from the big shot clients of Stratfor.
Some of the potential casualties could include Stratfor's biggest blue-chip clients, such as the US Department of Homeland Security, Boeing and Sony. In Australia, it's also likely to impact on some of the country's largest institutions, including the 4 big banks and high-profile identities like multi-millionaire politician Malcolm Turnbull.
Well, I think the first thing is we'll have to establish how that hacking occurred. Obviously, there's a breach of the law. This will need to be thoroughly investigated and then prosecuted.
But not all Stratfor's customers are high-net-worth individuals. The chief executive of the Pratt Foundation, a Melbourne-based philanthropic organisation, was also caught up in the sting.
My Stratfor subscription was a daily newsletter service, 5 days a week, which dealt with all of the current and topical issues around the world. Last week, for example, there was a lot of material about North Korea, succession, how this affected America's strategic outlook.
Sam Lipsky says Stratfor alerted him to the problem in an email trying to reassure customers on Christmas Day.
As far as I can tell, our corporate credit card details have not been compromised. We've taken immediate security steps to ensure that both my own email details and the company's corporate credit card details are much more secure than they were before.
To all of the psychos in the cabal, surrender now while you still have the chance. Do not say we did not warn you.
There's still great uncertainty about how many people have been affected by the attack and just precisely what Anonymous was hoping to achieve.
The systems that have been put in place over many years in our respective countries have got to be torn down piece by piece.
I can't really see any great motivation for attacking Stratfor in this case, and it might well be that it's because there is no real head of Anonymous. There is no necessary manifesto that they operate to, so it could be a subgroup or a breakaway group of Anonymous that's actually done this.
It began as a collective of people who were protesting against Scientology and its secrecy. Many of them were former Scientology members, but because the protests could all take place with masks and it was a bit of a cool thing, a lot of people joined in, and their interest in protesting against whatever they saw as unjust extended to things like government secrecy or against wars they didn't agree with.
The information security journalist who goes by the name Stilgerian says Anonymous inevitably has been a magnet for activists, but they don't always have a cause.
It's difficult to say because it's not just one person who's done the hack. That's become fairly clear. But once the attackers are inside Stratfor's network, then it's a bit like, I don't know, kids loose in the chocolate factory. They're all rushing to see what they want to grab.
Security firms.
The attempt to cast themselves as avengers against the rich certainly seems to have backfired for the charities who've already assured victims they'll be reimbursed.
There are millions of people at the moment in Somalia and northern Kenya affected by drought, in other countries around the world who need those donations. And we ask people to be generous but not to do stunts like this which don't benefit anyone.
To me, the most disturbing element of all this is the sanctimonious nonsense that the hackers have put up as a justification for what they've done. The fact that the Red Cross are the ultimate beneficiaries doesn't make it any less theft. This is theft on a grand scale, and I hope eventually they're caught and prosecuted to the full extent of the law.
We are anonymous. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us.
Sarah Everingham reporting.